right?
Yeah,
Right.
I can test it if you want.
Probably worthwhile.
Alright, I'll hurt it with the stream. Twitch. And... So that's 36 followers. We're a legit stream.
Do we have volume? Do we have sound?
Yep.
Oh.
Everyone else go.
Can you say production?
Yes.
Can you hear this? Dylan like whispering a little bit?
Hello?
Test. Hello. Sorry.
You guys are all, as long as one of you comes through, you're all on the same like line, so
It sounds fine.
I really
Excellent.
need to go buy new headphones, like the fucking ears are dying on this. Or
Excellent.
just get,
And the mic doesn't work all the time.
yeah, the mic's a bit fucking cooked. Or just get a Bluetooth dongle.
Alright, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We return to Olsen and his cadre facing off against some denizens of the Mistress. Naturally, we woke up and chose violence this day. Stepping forward and smirking, the druid spread her arms, and we saw a familiar wave of vines burst from the ground around us. Algae and Olson are both trapped, and Sarabay hops deftly out of the way. Kobolds pelt us with arrows, and the Ettin takes down a still wounded Sarabay with a javelin. Olsen commands her awake again, before shifting into a wolf and stepping out in front of her as Algae is still restrained. One of the kobolds crits Olsen as Sarabay steps forwards and riffs through the Ettin, damaging him and slashing at the red arm, piercing the skin with a whomph of red magic through the air, and Algae feels his spells are heightened. Olsen takes the moment to dash in and bite the Ettin, parrying it at its arm and making it move its axe across to its other hand. Algae hurls a firebolt at the druid and breaks her concentration, and the vines wither around him. With a nod to Olsen, Sarabay rabbit hops away from the Ettin and dashes around the cliff towards the kobolds, glowing with psionics as she does. Olsen in wolf form bites at the Ettin angrily and manages to tear its throat out. As the blood gushes onto the ground, a bit of the red glow fades into the ground. We get a sense of a natural danger, like a huge waterfall or a deep pit. The Dryad briefly flashes a moment of concern before waving her hand at Sarabay and calling out to her about how bad humans are, trying to convince Sarabay to take her side. Sarabay can understand the logic of this, and asks what she can do for her new friend, who asks for her protection. She suggests to the party that they should really murder the tasty kobolds instead, and leave the druid alone. She dashes forwards and riffs through the kobold, but it ducks out of the way. Olsen dashes through the group and grabs one of the kobolds by the throat, thrashing it around like a dog toy, or like a chew toy, before throwing its bloody corpse off the cliff. At this point, the Dryad waves goodbye to Sarabay and tries to dash away, but Olsen quickly bites her and drags her to the ground. Algae picks up a handful of rocks and catapults them at her, and it blasts straight through her chest. The final kobold screams, and smartly jumps to its own death. Algae heads forward to take a look over the Ettin, investigating the arm and what's happened to it. It's clear that the veins have been abused and laboured by the extra power that was running through them. Algae notices a large scar on the back of the Ettin's neck and decides to go for a rummage therein. He's basically a Zoidberg level surgeon, so it's very messy. The other two look on in unease, until Algae eventually pulls out a tiny red crystal from the mist that was once in the snake. Looking at the crystal, it looks somewhat like the no crystals, but it doesn't pulse regularly and is a strange reddish shade. Olsen and Sarabay go forth and sniff around at the Dryad's corpse. We don't find anything apparent, but Algae thinks that he should continue his spree of autopsies. Before he gets blood everywhere, Sarave has a look over the body and finds a tiny scroll written in common. There are instructions for leaving Camp Zeta and scouting around, while also being careful that if you're spotted, you need to kill whoever saw you. The plan is to go and get people and bring them back to the temple. The cadre is most concerned by this new development and rushes back to town to tell our superiors what happened. On our way back into town, we run into Joseph, and Olsen greets him coldly after their last interaction. Sarave recounts what has happened and how strange and dangerous it was, hence them all looking like death. Algie insists our mission rank should be higher due to what has happened, and Joseph says he'll consider this. Joseph doesn't like the look of the gem that they bring back with them, and says it makes him uncomfortable. He directs us to some other people who may have some more information. There you go. At this point, he pulls out a Tier 2 node certificate from his pack, heats some wax with prestidigitation, and seals it before handing it to the crew. They are all stoked and level as a result.
Huzzah.
Huzzah!
Huzzah.
Remind me, the keeper of notes. When you recorded, I said / you recorded in the notes that he suggested you take it to some people.
There's
There's
these
details
names here,
on
I
that,
just
or
did
leave
one.
it?
He says Portnear Side or Vivers Valou may have more to say on this. I just skipped over those because I was like, what is that?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me.
What was that? Oh, Courtney Bassard.
Courtney
Oh.
Bassard.
Courtney Bassard or Vivers Balloon?
That makes more sense. Well, I got one right. I'll take
Yeah,
it.
you did. And I'm glad you got one right, because the only way I was getting that first one was through contextual reference. Okay, so, from memory, the conversation was interrupted by another druid appearing out of the...
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Shit, I was meant to say something to him. What does he say?
He was like... He gave you some sass. You know, like, you look like death, basically. He's like, oh, Olsen, you look as bad as I expected you to after one mission out in the wild.
And are
Barely
we
alive.
Olsen's only friends? Like, does he have anyone?
These are all my frenemies, everyone else. Joseph, this guy, you know, it's hard being at the top. You get a lot of haters.
No one else has the same passion and zeal for the AMC that Olsen does, and so it obviously rubs people the wrong way.
Lots of people try to, but no one can reach my level of fanaticism, you know?
I feel like
Only at the top.
nobody really knows who Algie is, as much as he would want to think otherwise.
Trust me, fame's not always what you want. Anyway,
Olsen, on talking to you, can you quit gossiping with your party?
sorry. Well, this is what it looks like after a hard day's work, taking on a Tier 2 node. I wouldn't expect you to understand. Have you taken on any nodes at all yet?
Yeah, too. He's sort of like he was about to like show off his own token, and then he
No, he
put
pulls-
it back into his pocket. It's like, Joseph, a tier 2 node? What did they do to get a tier 2 node? That's ridiculous.
Only for the top of the class, you understand.
Oh,
Well,
Plebs need not apply.
we'd be like, well, you know, as they say, talent rises to the top, but as with often these things, unforeseen circumstances make good bedfellows with hence,
Yeah, well.
and she just gestures at herself covered in blood.
probably only because you have that Harangon anyway. I don't know why you got a Harangon. Favoritism. I'm gonna go and talk to Courtney about this. Tier 2 node. Unbelievable. And she just... Oh, sorry, he just storms off.
Yeah.
And then comes back right back out and it's like, Joseph, I said when we were going to wait and restock for a while, but that's it. We're leaving now. It was out west, right? Okay. and she sort of gathers up her party. She runs back in. Oh, gee, I've got a female
Okay,
model.
I
But
don't-
Yeah,
I don't
look,
really
yeah,
know
yeah.
I don't really see gender. I don't mind.
We'll use neutral pronouns. Go back into the inn, collect their party, and head out of town before anyone can really do much to stop them.
Be careful out there. It's gonna be hard for the likes of you.
Yes. Well, just keep an eye out for yourself, and I'll look after myself. Off they go.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, Olsen, every time we come into one of your compatriots, the same thing. I know they do not have your zeal, but it might help if you were a little nicer to them and open a few more doors.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, you know what the problem is, Survey. I'm embarrassed. When people see me, and then they see the Aga Algatheran druids, they think we're at the same level. It hurts me. You know?
Yeah, fearless leader. Yeah, I'm gonna need one of those. Need one of those stat sheets to see where they're ranked.
Aye, you'll have to look way down the bottom.
Joseph sort of pulls out like a notebook. He says to you, Algie, he's like, well, I mean, I'm a bit of a investor myself, and the odds on that group weren't, look, they were solid. They weren't at your level, but you know what I think of you. There's not a wise investment. Far too overhyped coming out of the academy in my mind. But I think Fergen's lot could do okay. They're not, odds weren't that crash hot, but sometimes those dark horses are quite the investment.
Yeah, I'll keep my money this time.
Place. I think we've proven ourselves now, haven't we, Joseph? How can you say that we're overrated now? After our first journey to a node, and have been so fraught with danger and so easily succeeded.
The brightest flames burn out the fastest, so we'll see. It's a long season out there.
Well, you better invest while we're hot then.
Must admit, I'd shorted you, so I didn't after your first outing, though. Sometimes the first-hand experience pays off. So yeah, look, I might toss a few coins your way.
Better to bet on a winner, I think.
I can admit I'm wrong. I'm not that stubborn. I mean, I understand. It's the wild out there. Some just have a knack for it, and maybe you do. But we'll see. As I said, it's a long season. It's a long season ahead.
That's how I like
There's some
to see
talent
it,
out there.
Joseph. Nice and glib.
There's some rumors going around that the head of the leaderboard from last season hasn't actually come back from their first mission. A lot of money floating on that one. A lot of disappointed and frankly less wealthy patrons in Algathera, I imagine.
Do we know who this guy is?
I
For tier 1 from last season, I feel like we
need to get
I mean,
an
of course he
updated
knows.
stat sheet.
attitude like? What do I think about him? Or her? Or they?
I didn't think I need to tell you about Picard.
Picard.
Oh yes, Captain Picard.
Yeah,
Everyone knows
Picard.
that.
Everyone.
Everyone knows the captain.
The captain. Always a safe investment.
You haven't been out here in Zeta forever, have you? You came from town.
He came from town. What happened to him? Which way is he headed?
Who knows? Who knows? He, very secretive mission. Just disappeared. Picard always delivered on time. Never was down there for too long, but it's been a full week now. No one heard from him. Quite concerning, but it does leave a wide open gap on the top of those leaderboards, Cracks the season right open. He was a hot on's favourite for this one, Back it up year after year. Doesn't happen often, mind you. Doesn't happen often.
So is there with the rankings? Is there, because we just did a tier 2? Is there like an overall leaderboard, or is it just like the tier 1 leaders, the tier 2 leaders, or?
What is our rank numerically right now today? And bear in mind, Joe's deciding how many squads exist.
Oh my god. I hadn't thought this through.
Oh,
I just
what's
wanna
one
know,
of the
like-
secrets today, boys?
Turn your
Um,
character torch off and you're like blowing all the lighting out.
So,
How do you do that?
it's sort of
Oh,
blow.
I've
Ah.
done it actually.
Yeah.
I always turn it on.
Oh, wow, it's much nicer.
Well, look, you know, there's divisions. No one expects a squad like you to the top of the leaderboards from the very get-go. But you know, there's people have a lot of put a lot of stock in you. It's like there are some investments that are multi-generational things. They call it dynasty picks. And Picard had he was on route for quite the dynasty. You know? Nothing like what sorry. Nothing like what Vivers and Courtney were able to establish. Now that was a run for the ages. I gotta say I was a bit late on the bandwagon there, but I did make some money.
It's like you and the NBA, Cameron.
Yeah.
Late on
Were
the
they
bandwagon.
the previous tops before Picard came in, rose to prominence?
Oh yeah, I'm sure you know all about Vivers' career. That rabbit. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that's derogatory. Harangon.
Thank you.
He is a true legend. And Courtney, you know, the pair of them, just unbelievable. Knows that no one thought possible. Knows that no one even knew existed. They would just find them. They would secure them, no worries. It's but year after year, like their peers were dying or getting maimed around them or just disappearing, but every time they came back, rock solid hold on top of the leaderboards for a 5-year run. Not as active now, mind you, but you know, you can understand that. It's a hard life out here. They got a lot of important work to do in Alcathera, of course.
Of course.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
lucky
we've,
what as they say.
Right, sorry, Dylan.
When you have a lucky rabbit's foot, as they say, it does. Our skills and talents certainly do make some things a bit easier compared to the rest of the corps. You keep inviting us back for a reason, after all.
Yeah, well, we'd have to have a good one. Frankly, I don't know about you lot. I think it's all a bit unnatural, frankly. Just the way you zip and zap around, it's so twitchy. Always moving in the corner of my eye, like it's something gets me on edge, you know.
Careful now, Joseph. The Haragons are a good friend of mine.
Well, I do apologise. I respect you, what you do for the ANC. And I respect what you do for Agathera. I'm just not inviting you home.
Probably for the best. I would hate to
Yeah.
decline an invitation.
She chuckles and sort of brushes one ear out of her face and just like, well, you know what they say. But we obviously have a target that we need to get to over the next, ideally this season, but definitely over the next few runs. You're lucky you got to work so closely with us here at the very beginning.
Yeah, well,
Watch this
look,
space, things are coming.
I look. Still
Yes.
think there's a risky bet here. I mean, you went pretty hard. Look, taking a tier 2 node on your first crack. That's I've seen it before. Yeah, I have. And look, there's a fine line between bravery and stupidity, and I hope you stay on the right side of it.
Yes, that is so weird. Getting splattered across the hillside is never pleasant.
Not
Doesn't do much for your leaderboard standings, I'll tell you that.
Oh, Joseph. Maybe you're not so bad. Anyway, I need to go and rest. I hate being
Yeah,
late.
what time was it? It would be like afternoon, evening.
I don't care what time it is. I'm gonna go and have a rest.
yeah.
It's let's say it's mid afternoon. In fact, hold on, let me change
We
the
traveled in the morning, like it must be. I don't know how long we were out for, but it felt like we've been on the grind.
There you go. Beautiful late afternoon sun.
Oh, it's so cool that it does that.
Is using these are the same models and they're completely different people.
Oh, there's more people
They're in
in
exactly
the
the
town.
same spots.
Whoa, more people.
Thought there was only 11 of them here, but there's a whole another 11. Alright,
Oh, maybe there's a bit of a mix and a match. Let's say it's mostly the same people with a couple.
Look, I don't recognize any of them. I don't care.
Yeah, fair
Is
enough.
the merchant still here?
The one you saved, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Jimmy Hands guy still here? Whatever his name was.
So you've got Jimmy's still here, and the merchant's still here as well. And the head guy of the NC researchers are still here.
Is there anyone I can get? Oh, bloody map keeps adding the wall back on. When I click on my token, it like puts the walls back up.
You can just move the little green slider down here.
Yeah, but it keeps moving that.
Yeah, it does.
Double right click on the ground of the town.
Oh, here you go. You've clicked the little lock next to the green thing. That stops it from moving.
Ah, okay. Ah, excellent. It's very twitchy.
What, the Heron gun? They're like that. Alright, I want to get the boys together and talk about our next move.
Oh, yep, okay. Whoops.
Algae just appears from
Actually
under the table.
I'm gonna clear a table for you. There you go. Merchant's quietly talking to the NC lead researcher in the corner.
Look, Algie, Cerave, I wasn't expecting it, but you've proven yourselves. So I'm gonna bring you in a little bit on the decision making now, give you a chance. What do you want to do?
It's good to be realized for my talents. For some reason it takes people a while, but they always realize it eventually.
Sometimes right before they die.
Well, better to realize before they die, rather than afterwards when he's got a hand inside them. Talented for some things. Making a mess, shall we say?
Yep, always gotta break a few eggs, as they say.
Yes, I feel we need to. These red gems in this mistress is most concerning. I feel like we need to talk to someone about this.
Yeah, we should follow. This is a hot lead. We should go in deeper. You know, it's a good chance to get some more renown for ourselves.
I agree.
Abigail, who was sort of, just having a chat with this guy right here. And this guy leaves, and she comes over and she says, I couldn't help but overhear that you have found something up there. You mentioned she sort of leans in, she sort of grits her teeth and said, red crystal?
Yeah, here it is.
She's quite taken aback, and she sort of slaps her hand over yours, like that.
Oh,
And she
Glowing.
sort of looks, and says, "If I were you, I would keep that quite private for now. But I think I know who you should talk to about this."
is it expensive?
Let's just say it would have expensive consequences. Yes, there's a young... Actually, sorry, let me double check my notes. There's a young stockbroker from the town of Alcathera. What was his name again? She sort of pulls out just some paper and leaves through it. Ah, yes. Sidney Sheck. Sydney has he's been following. There's a lot of threats, you know. You want to stay abreast of the comings and goings of the ANC court if you want to make some money around here. This is not the first crystal that's being discovered. I believe he may not know what's going on per se, but he will definitely know who to talk to. We'll find him back in Albuquerque. But whatever you do, just around here, please treat that crystal. To lower your voice when she says crystal. With great sanctity. That is not a safe item. Be playing willy-nilly. It may cause some reactions. And she sort of, as she says that, she eyes the actually tell me what be like a would it be perception or insight?
Oh, I rolled bad.
Oh, this is for algae.
Okay,
That
good.
I'm guessing it would be it's like some sort of wisdom roll.
I both got -1, so.
Hit it.
Yeah, I'm guessing it'd be insight. I use insight all the time.
Oh
But
my god, boy.
To
They
zero.
don't want us to know. They don't want us to know.
I rolled the 0.
So
So-
roll. This is a test roll coming here. Make sure we haven't managed to. Oh, it's pretty bad, guys.
What?
just keep rolling, and 18 more rolls you'll get there.
There you go. We're out of the woods.
Oops.
So yeah,
Can't.
you.
Oh,
There you go. That's the first one the whole time. Look, she does something with her eyes. You can't really tell what's going on.
like, ouchie, did she wink at you?
Yeah.
I really have no
Listen.
idea. It's
I'm
like,
really confused with how she doing it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what was that?
Did she?
that's like the social
No.
inside of a
Yeah.
14-year-old Minecraft addict.
Yeah.
And she just continues. She's like, so that it's not made public around. In this conversation, I mean, please be a little more obtuse.
Yes, despite our
Alright,
dear friend
yep.
Algie's chant for fading, for slipping away unnoticed, he is not the most subtle.
As well, those who do not have to suffer the consequences are often the least subtle in the first place.
That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, thank you for your advice, Abigail. I suppose we have a trip back to Albuquerque.
Yes, I actually believe the next boat will be leaving tomorrow at midday. Yeah, you may like. There was another adventuring group that was arrived in town this afternoon. Not sure if you know of them. From Blackwoods.
Is that Gendry or whatever?
Yeah, that's gender.
Yes, we're aware of them. I wouldn't place too much faith in that group, though.
Or too much
Oh.
money.
Oh, really? And she takes out another notepad. She's like, "Please tell me more."
I love this. It's just like a tiny little meta thread that everyone's just like,
They know Olsen
Yeah.
and the Olsenites, if you know what I mean.
Oh yes, I was actually thinking about that. You know, Olsen Magnaros, right? How about Olsen and the Magnificent?
Magneros. Really have to.
Oh,
Hit that
Magneros?
one.
Oh, don't worry, it still works. Olsen and the Magnificence. It sells itself. And if you do
I
go
like
with that,
it.
I will be taking some cut, by the way.
Yeah.
20.
Oh, think of this as your investment in our group, your first one.
As well, I mean, I did hear from Joseph that it was a tier 2 capture, and that is quite smart. It doesn't happen all the time.
It's funny
Do
that
I
you
have-
heard that already. He must have been planning it before he got
Yeah.
back.
Yes, well,
No,
he does have a
sh-
flair for the dramatic,
sh-
doesn't he?
She could have overheard the other guy.
yeah, sputtering and being deeply
Yeah.
outside the front of the inn.
Yeah.
She's like,
Just
I heard
take
it from
it-
you
just-
10 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Just take this as an example of how fast word gets around here, and why you should keep that rock of yours under wraps.
It's very tempting to pull it out again.
This
But yeah, this one. Olsen, do we have time to go to Agathera? Are there other missions?
There's a lot that we could still do here in town. Oh. How many are you guys?
I suppose
Yeah,
I suppose it depends how badly we need rest. I mean, there is that farm that we wanted to check out. We technically have a full day, almost.
It will take you more than a day to get to that farm.
Yeah. How often does the boats to Agathera arrive?
Oh, to Zeta.
Never
Zeta. Sure, it's very frequently travelled. I would say getting probably one every half week at this point.
Ah, that's pretty good.
We
We've
have
got
more
time.
to do here before we return to Algathera. There's a few mysterious goings on that we want to investigate.
But don't worry, I'll keep this gem safe, and I wink at her because I've misunderstood
This
based off Olsen's assumption.
sort of turns to Sarah Bay and she's like, maybe it would be wise if you took rock.
Do you want it? No.
Yes, when we are discussing the group finances, I will take a hold of the purse in a more secure spot away from prying eyes. You never know where wandering hands can come from. While reputable, very crowded in place.
Can I ask a world-building question? How do we get paid?
Your salary, of course, but
Does it come from Abigail, or do we have to go back to Algathera?
Thera is where. Sorry, Ken.
I've got a question on this as well. Is any of it commission based off how much investments we get?
Okay, look, it's a
I know
relatively,
it's a big one, but
Makes sense.
it's a relatively complex
Yeah.
compensation.
But it
System.
somehow always ends
base
up being
salary.
100 gold.
yeah.
You have a base salary as ANC cause people. You have a bonus that's
Okay.
scales based on your
Cause
leadership.
people when one of us are rabbit.
Folk, true. Everyone is folk. You're cause folk. You you get bonuses based on your position on the leaderboard at the end of the season. Then you also get essentially like a cut. So essentially equity. You carry equity, right, in yourself.
Yeah.
So based on the total, like, you essentially collect dividends based on the amount of investment that's made against you.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Both in the short term and the long term.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
And can we ask people to? Hey, this is a way to try and get people to give us shit. Be like, oh, invest in us, like. But
Oh, I see.
yeah,
That's an interesting question.
you can mull it over.
Might have to mull it over because I feel like it has implications.
Yeah,
for
it probably does.
operations
Don't want to
at
get too complicated, but like,
But like, it's like if you invested in a big business, right? You wouldn't like go and give the business stuff unless you were like had a big holding in it, like above like 30%, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like lobbying a politician.
well, it's like insider trading. You're like, oh, this crew doesn't look like they're gonna succeed. Poor odds. I'm gonna go give them a bunch of shit and bet
Yeah.
on their low odds.
Sure.
And of course, you have like adventuring stipends from the ANC that keep you stocked up for everything you need to do.
Alright. I'll table that for now.
Well, I
Bring it
suppose we
up, bring it up like in game, and we'll see what happens.
should not right now.
Yeah, no. Need an investor.
Alright, are we gonna have a little
Yep.
resty poo? We could just do a short one if you guys want. Might be a bit of a yikes, I think I need a long one. Yeah,
I'm like,
no
are you
spell
guys
stuff.
sure? You're pretty running on the fumes, I feel.
A short rest would do a lot for me, but a long rest was probably wise. I didn't realize my wild shape's a short rest.
Yes.
Yes, it's very good. Druids are such a cool class.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Well, I suppose we should just take a moment to
Yeah.
take some time to catch a breather. If we're not planning to get on the boat tomorrow, as we have some other business to attend to, we have a little bit more time to plan and go and investigate the odds and ends.
We'll take the evening off, and then we'll head out first thing in the morning. We still have to decide where we want to go. I'm very concerned about the farmland to the north, but there's also that mysterious temple to the west.
I mean, as part of the ANC, unless we currently have a current mission, I feel our duty is to the people. Overall.
And what's his face went west already.
Yes. All the better though. Perhaps we could swoop in, take it out from under his legs.
Ah, some easy gains.
Their legs, excuse me.
Just to double check, where do you think the temple is?
Far west. Like we went west a bit, but then I think the temple was further west.
Yes. Where do you think the farming village is?
To the north? No, wait. Farmland is inland, so I guess west as well.
It's
No,
both,
further west.
both west. We'll just head west and see what we come across.
2-day journey west.
Is that the
Farmland?
farmland or the temple?
Yeah. So the temple
So
is
it's like
unknown.
one northwest and one southwest.
Well, no. Remember, you wouldn't remember because it was a minor detail. But the merchant, when he was describing it, he described coming across like deeply wounded and crazed Korsman from Sirez, dreaming about some temple
Ah, sort of.
on his journey back from farming
So
village.
it'll go like it'll go camp Zeta where we are, temple, farmland.
Yeah, that's right.
The temple might not be like. On
Yeah, it could be like,
right
phew. Yeah,
to the side, but
Yeah,
Temple,
yeah, yeah.
no
also
one
where between
like.
us and the farmland town.
yeah.
I don't think you have knowledge of where the temple is. So at the moment you definitely don't have knowledge of where the temple is. You do know you don't know where the farming village is, but anyone in town could tell you. And you know it's from casual conversation with the merchant. You know it's about a 2.5
Someone
day
showed
trip.
us it on a map recently.
We did actually. So you would know the road from the
It can't be that
Zeta
bad,
to the
really.
farming village.
How many roads they got? Like two.
It's really, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, there aren't many because you're sort of on the frontier right now.
Yeah.
And on the frontier, you do know it's not a safe road.
Let me check in with Joseph, but I think we should head out to the west in the morning and see what we can see. I'm gonna pop back outside. Say,
He needs to be doing something. He can't just be standing like an
just
idiot.
looking at the well like a duck.
Fishing.
Yeah.
Fishing over here.
Call out. Say, Joseph, where are you? And I see he's
Oh.
the only other guy in town. There you are.
He's not in a great spot for fishing, but he's making it work.
Character, you know.
He's up here. Over here.
Can you guys see me?
Yeah, can see you.
Yeah, good. I just lost myself. Joseph, me and my compatriots were thinking about heading out west in the morning. Is there any more nodes or interesting activity out there? Anything that we can do formally for the ANC while we're working informally to further her cause? With
Oh,
ourselves?
so they're going off script, are you? Well, that's interesting. Let me see. He sort of pops his fishing rod in a crack between the rocks, and rifles through his manila folder of NC intel. He says, let me double check my maps. I will rifle through my manila folder.
All these two say, I heard there was farmland out there that was under a bit of strife. Is there anything in your little secrets about that?
Well, yeah, Kirkwall Village, yes. Very bad situation out there. Very, very bad. Beautiful place, but I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to hold that. It used to be all right. It used to be safe. It used to just be able to, produce its regular flow of crops. Yeah, there was some incursions here and there, but nothing that the villagers couldn't repel. And we had to bring in some militia, and militia started to struggle. We had to bring in a corpsman, sentries posted there all the time. We've lost one. We lost a whole ANC corps to a raid just recently. But I don't. Austin, I mean, got an investment in now. I don't know if you're up for that. I talked about burning bright and flaming out fast. I don't know if Kirkwall quite your cup of tea just yet. It might be a bit on the punchy side. But there is look, there is a let me just rename.
There is a village 3 that needs help.
Yeah. I'm gonna finish
There's,
making the map tomorrow as well. Get the day off.
Sweet.
Is this various sort of amphitheater that the natural amphitheater that's looks like it's overrun by a small. Oh look, they say it's small, but ANC researchers they don't go out there themselves. Small
People
don't really know
pushers.
People pushers, that's right. They're not out here. They don't know what it's like, but it's described as a small infestation of goblin folk.
Ooh.
Now, that's look. I have to check the details, and it's probably changed, but that's a solid tier 2, maybe tier 3 node that's out there. It wasn't. Look, I hadn't mentioned it because looked like you needed a bit of a break after that first one, but look, there's one way to the top of the leaderboards, and that's taking some risks. So
All I
heading out
need
that
is
way.
a hot meal and a cold drink, and I'll be ready to go again. No rest for the excellent.
We'll sort you out for that one, and I will sort you out for this one. And he hands you he takes out the sort of brief, and he signs it with his name and puts his stamp on it, saying, subscribe to Olsen and Co. Osman ANC.
Thank
And
you.
it's all the details that has been discussed with a rudimentary map to get from Zeta to there.
Awesome. One last thing. Could you tell me where you sent my classmate? I'm just a bit worried about them.
Yeah, well, they're headed out west. There's
Everyone's heading west.
maybe about
Well, we're on the East Coast, so
Most
west
of
is
them are
inland. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're on the East Coast. I don't know why I thought we were on the West Coast.
Because we used
No,
to be
no,
on the
no,
West
no.
Coast.
We used to be on the West.
Remember?
technically, in my mind, you were on the East Coast and everything was west, but the map was set up to be the opposite.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, look, they're heading out west. They're going to some ruins we found along a river. It's like a tier 1 ruins. I don't expect any trouble there.
Yes, well, we didn't expect any trouble at our ruins either, did we? But trouble we found.
It's getting wild out there. Only getting worse, but they're fine. They've already taken down a node. Didn't come back as beat up as you lot did, so it's all right. Good fight.
Fair point, fair point. Very well, Joseph. Good luck with your fish.
Did we tell Joseph about the dead adventuring party?
Oh shit, we should, hey?
Probably to get the rings, right?
Alright, I'm about to tell you. Oh,
One
more thing again, Joseph.
Oh God! Can't you leave a man to his fish? What now?
When we were out at the node, we found the remnants of a past adventuring party. And I get out there, what was it, like, their crystals?
Signet rings, crystal rings.
Yeah, they're signal rings containing their personal mana crystals, which have completely faded, mind you.
A terrible sight. The creature that we dispatched, or creatures, looked like they'd taken them down before we arrived.
Sort of brings them over and inspects like the inside of each ring. And he says to himself, "Oh yeah, that's Corky's group. And lost that one. Yeah, didn't expect him to have so much trouble with that node. You know, it was late in the season last year. I'm out there, and, you know, thought it would be a quick way to just, you know, get some work done. They weren't on top of the leaderboards, you know, but they were functional, they were effective. And I found those owlbears, I guess.
Remind me not to put much weight in your thoughts on which nodes are difficult.
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose we didn't realize at the time. We never checked whether like they'd entirely been mauled or they had any like enormous axe wounds as well.
I think they'd been mauled, hadn't they? I thought they'd been like a little bit eaten.
Yeah, I know they'd been like a bit mauled, but like there was that huge fuck off giant just hanging out. And, oh my god, look at his face. There was that huge
true.
fuck-off giant roaming around that goddamn cave.
Yeah. You'd think you'd notice a giant axe window.
I mean, if the owlbears had sort of half eaten them afterwards, like
Yeah.
Could have missed it.
Look, it says waiting for GM. Did mine break?
Oh, sorry, no, it's because I'm fucking around on other maps.
oh,
Okay.
see, I thought you'd frozen, but you were just looking real smug.
No, yes. I was just looking. Sorry, when I go and look at other maps and I leave you, it seems to just freak out. I'm guessing that's just how the game works. So he pockets the signet rings. And he's like, "I'll make sure these get returned back to the ANC Academy for proper treatment."
Nancy.
You did what was respectful with the corpses, of course.
Yes, of course. Sad state of affairs. Just dying out in the field like that, but we did what we could.
You're leaving. He's like, "Just remember, Olsen, there's always more fish in the sea." And he casts his rod.
A
What?
really weird look. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. Is he hitting on me?
Always one.
Can I roll insight on that? See if I can figure out what the fuck he
Sure.
was talking about?
Sure.
15. Plus
15.
4, it's a 19.
It's a 19. Look, you think he was just trying to impress you.
He's trying to
He's coming around on you, right?
Ooh, he's coming
warming
onto you.
He's warming up, and he's a bit like intimidated by these like highly successful young ANC candidates, and you think that was a bit of like him trying to sort of be
That's what the
wicked
kids
and
say.
I look over my shoulder and see if he's looking at me. Is he?
No, he's like cast his rod, and he's like turning back to look into the ocean.
Yeah. He's like, nah, nailed that.
He's very happy with himself.
Alright. Go and eat and drink and rest in the Pavarino.
Okay.
Oh shit, I ended up on level 2. Anyway, I'll tell the boys about the findings and the new mission we've been given. Just getting stuck on the balcony, sorry.
Yeah, just teleport them.
Oop, he's
Am
back.
I in? Yes.
Ah, Olsen, you're back. Turn to him. Ooh.
Okay, right in the doorway.
Right in the doorway.
Navigating around this guy has just been standing here for 10 minutes.
He's the door holder who holds the door. Or closed.
I'm back. And with news, there's another node that we can investigate nearby. A level 2 node, perhaps.
Hmm.
How interesting.
Yes.
Excellent. Sounds very lucrative. Another tier 2 token for us, potentially.
Sounds very glorious, don't you mean?
That'll get us noticed.
Noticed?
Yes, the
What?
glory. The
Don't
golden
get us
glory.
Glory for the ANC.
Why, did he say something? Did you tell him the plan to investigate the farm?
Broadly. Didn't you say it was a bad idea? Like.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Alright,
He
good.
said it. Oh, you told him what
Yeah.
he wanted to do, right?
I'm like
It was
really
quite
sick,
detailed.
guys. You guys have to listen to what he's saying. I'm gonna read the notes after this.
Yeah, he was pretty. He detailed a lot of reasons why, like how things have gone worse over time in Kirkwall Village.
Yes, Kirkwall Village is in dire straits. It might be a bit risky for a party of our level, but you know, you've got to take risks. You've got to shine the brightest to burn out the quickest, as they say.
Even though I'm not a human, I don't think that's how the saying goes.
Yeah.
But you know, I suppose it's what they're paying us for. So if we can claim another kid who knows it quickly, that can only be good for our fortunes.
Yes.
Yeah. Wasn't that hard the first time?
Yes,
I
but
look
they-
at Algie and I learn still
Yeah.
like covered in blood and stuff. I'm like,
I'm pretty pristine.
Algie's like barely sore or anything.
you got stuck in some
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the worst thing that happened to you was getting trapped in some.
I think I got hit once by something because I've got. Oh no!
Oh
is it
yeah,
'cause-
you
Oh, you
probably
got
took a
like
sleep.
one.
Hit you or something?
Got like
Awesome.
one down.
Yeah, like a kobold something.
Alright.
By the way, while that's happening, right, while that was happening, and Olsen, I'm gonna put you back outside.
Cat, don't put me on the balcony.
Olsen.
I'm live.
There you go.
What's the teleport thing again? It was shift.
Shift click.
I'm outside. Is this before I
Just
come
wanted to
back
try.
in?
So you're coming back to the inn at the moment. Actually, you're mid-conversation with what's his face.
Yes.
And what happened is he sort of
Oh, Jimmy, I was planning to see him.
he he sort of makes a attention-grabbing noise towards your table. Hey, psst. Hey,
Gary's over.
that's the
I
man.
leisurely. Oh, is he just doing it to Algie or to both of us?
You can come too if you want.
Just Algie. He's Algie's friend, man. He's gonna be like, what are you doing here?
Yeah. Sorry, I've just got some business in this
You can
corner.
come, look, you can come too. You can do whatever Sarabay would do.
Hippity hop.
She'll be like, all right, and she'll just sort of like flick her ears around and just be very obviously listening.
Okay. Just the
Whoa.
this, you know what they say, good things come in small packages, and I'm hoping you got some good things along that small package fee. So,
Is he hitting on me as well?
They're very sexually charged tonight.
Yeah.
doing anything juicy?
Oh god.
Wouldn't you like to know, Sailor?
Yeah. I did, yes. I found this as I pull out the alchemist pot thing. Alchemist vase.
Sort of eyes and he's like, oh my god, Barry. I mean, sorry. You didn't hear that. I'm saying.
Would you you
Sorry,
cut out a
I
bit.
was too quick. He says, oh my gosh, Harry would love, and then he stops.
Harry would love. Okay. Write that down, write that down.
Roll me an insight check. Oh, actually, no, a history check, please.
History did you say? Good, I've got +7 on that one.
Oh my god. 20, okay. Alright, you know that each of the city-states, especially the ones that have been around for a while, have, I guess, like, they've been quite separated and quite isolated, right? So, some cultural elements have formed, including, like, commonality of names. Parry does not sound like an Algotheran name. My contact would be very interested in this one. What's your price?
Yes. Oh, the market rate, of course. of I have no idea what value gold or like we've had no
So how much money? How much
we've
money do
had
you
no
have?
commerce. I think I have 24 gold, but I don't know
Oh,
what
you
that was just
have
like a random
20
starting.
gold flat.
Yeah,
Starting
I
gold.
think all of about 20. Okay.
25.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, commerce is a tricky one. What was?
Yep.
Did anyone come across like a rule in like D&D in terms of money? Like Dylan, maybe I talked to you about this. I
Uh, I,
vaguely
it's, ba-
remember.
it's basically like a goal that is like having like a fairly like lavish day in like a normal town. I think.
Use 1 gold.
Isn't the economy stuff of D&D in 5e, isn't it like crap? Like it really has scaling issues.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Well, look, Cam,
It's
I'm
sort of like
How about a barter? Barter.
one gold is like 100 US dollars.
Whoa.
okay.
That's a fancy day in
I think
town.
we're gonna have to just do some haggling here, Cam. And if the numbers
Yeah.
end up being insane, we might just change it later on.
I was gonna say, like, do you have any magic scrolls or anything to exchange? Sometimes it's more
Aw.
valuable than gold.
You're a bit of a trader, eh? Okay, yeah, look, I can get behind that. That's all right. Yeah, look, what sort of stuff you into? Like the
This guy is
explosions?
definitely flirting with you.
Do you like something a bit more, soft and
What
heartfelt? I like the heartfelt stuff myself. Stuff that brings a bit of connection into your world, you know?
Well, I'm a master of many things. Transmutation is one of them, but anything to help me slip out of any situations or illusions.
Aw. I think it might preserve your time on this mortal plane, you know? Look, I think that's not a bad idea. I got to protect my investments and
Yes,
well,
yes, it's the same page. Yes.
okay. Well, let's see what I can do. You just why don't you leave that with oh look, you don't trust me and I understand.
As I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe you would have.
Algae is not very wise. He is smart, but not wise.
Okay,
I
well
remember
fine then.
this
Let's play this.
this alchemy jug can make us 2 gallons of mayonnaise a day.
Yeah.
Think of all the sandwiches.
So
the
actually, he asked you. So what does this actually do?
Oh, I'm sure your patron would know. You just said he'd be very interested.
Well, he's interested in all these sort of rare finds that come around here.
Yes, rare
Uh,
finds.
I've got quite the library of scrolls, and I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting myself a good deal out of this. They don't grow on trees. I mean, the paper does, but the scroll, the writing doesn't. I
What
suppose
do
the
I
writing
know?
kind of grows on plants, and then that. Look, it's beside the point.
I know a lot about this jug.
Arcana check, my friend.
Arcana is a magical. Whoops. Get rid of that. Does that just ignore that one? How do I get rid of damn it? Remove. Where's Arcana gone? Oh, it's also +7. I can just keep my first one then, which is a 24. Or I can roll again.
First one was 11, bro.
Huh? The first one was a 17.
Oh, your second one after you do it was Arcana.
Well, this is my... Here, this is the actual Arcana one then, not a...
Look, it's magic.
Yeah.
So, you've heard of drugs that have like infinite liquid. It looks like it sounds and acts similar to something like that.
Yep.
But you
I think it's
haven't
enough.
tried it, so you have no idea
Yeah.
really what it does.
Yeah.
But you tell them the gist, and it's like, all right, yeah, look, I do have a scroll library. It's not on me, of course, like not that sort of. But look, give me some time. I'll have a look. you come back to town next, I'll have something sorted out for you. It was reservation. Was that correct?
Sorry, evase. Yeah.
Invasion,
Yeah.
evasion. I get the gist. You wanna not die. Who doesn't want to not die?
Illusions, visibility, all those type of.
Visibility. Oh, look, it's just a jug, mate. So I just
Magic
want to
jug.
set expectations here. It's just a jug.
All right. It's just a joke. Whoop.
Well, you want to leave that with me while you go out, or store? I've got some storage space if you need.
Minus. No. No, I think I'll hold on to it for the little while. I'll be able to figure out more of his purpose for you. There you go. Just don't worry.
Beautiful. Look, the better you understand it, the better I'll be able to value it. The better a deal we'll do, and the richer we'll both get.
I like the sound of that. Good day, Jimmy.
You let me know if you find anything else out there. Old Jimmy's always here for you.
Everything's. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Jimmy. Off I go back. Whoop whoop. Olsen's coming back.
Okay. Yep, so you would arrive back now. Sarah Bay, would you like to do anything at this point, or are you happy?
She's just sort of like leaning on the table, looking at like.
She's a wallflower.
Well, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised at some of the company you keep. You did have me worried for a moment there, but you may do with what you will with the items that you find buried in treasures somewhere, or buried in ruins somewhere. I suppose that's only fair.
But Survey, aren't you proud of me for not showing the other thing?
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
See, you can trust me.
Well, of course I trust you. It's just we all know you are a little hasty.
Yeah.
With
Yeah. It's all for the betterment of the party. Everything I do is for the party.
Yes, well, that is always very good to know. It's like, awesome, welcome back.
And then I tell them what I told them before.
It sounds like we should get ready to rest and set out tomorrow.
Right you are, young Algie. Let's have a hearty meal and rest up after our brush with death.
Okay. Night descends on
Does Abigail do anything sus?
Abigail. Why would Abigail do anything sus? What do you
She's
mean?
a sus kind of lady. She's got sus stuff going on.
Are you keeping an eye on Abigail?
Yes, I think she's sus.
On the investigation.
Investigation?
Yeah, I don't know where Sarah May went. I thought I teleported her up into the rooms, but
She's a gift.
It's
Where
+2.
is?
Look, she's busy. She doesn't live at the inn. Like, she's sort of just here a lot. So you keep an eye on her. She sort of makes her social rounds, and then she heads home for bed.
I go to bed as well. I wish Algie a good night. Survey, and I head to my slumber.
I love the knockdown.
Yeah, the knockdown laydown. It's great.
The rooms upstairs are honestly quite well appointed. They're functional, like function over form for sure. But God, those beds feel good. Like if the ANC understands that an investment in a good night's sleep is an investment in an effective cause folk.
Awesome.
Where am I? What's my...
Your room was. Yours is the one just down the hall.
Oh, excuse me.
He just turns into a dog and just sort of cuddles up with you.
Well, you're with me.
Every room has a bedstand, and instead of inside the bedstand is a little red book.
Is this one?
And it's the It's the ANC Clauseman handbook, of course, with all the rules and legislations for being an ideal clauseman.
I
Which
read it
are-
a little bit to get to sleep, but then I'm too excited by it, so I have to put it down and go to sleep.
It's like, yes, we must do the best for the common god to keep the crystals charged.
Yeah.
Ah!
Oh, I'll
Yes,
get
yes,
better.
yes.
Like humming their marching tunes and stuff.
As one section which hold on, I'm linking a video on Facebook. It has one section which is this but in written form, with a very strong ANC slant.
You're gonna post it on our. Oh, it's in Facebook.
Oh yeah, fuck! I don't need to post it on Facebook. I can put it in.
Yeah.
It's even better. This is important media.
Oh, I didn't notice where we put the rabbit emote on the end of that. Oh, yes.
Who could it be?
Quick rabbit.
It's actually perfect with the imagery of Olsen. Did you watch it, Ed?
Okay,
I
well-
watch them 'cause I'm streaming, right? Like, it's
When you get around to it, that's like you track down your favorite passage in the ANC handbook, and that's it.
He just goes to sleep, like, holding the book, just like...
Right. Be honest, we might actually wrap up a bit early tonight because I have some planning to do for this next session. There's some preparation that needs to happen.
Yeah.
And these full-on roleplay sessions are quite tiring, so I have to.
Yeah.
Especially with this homebrew shit, I'm making it all up, and it's like, oh, I keep it all in my head. At least until I read
gone off the rails of the narratives. Now we're in uncharted territory.
Yeah.
Are we off the rails,
Oh.
Lachlan?
Session 7, off the rails.
Let's see, not entirely.
Still got one little wheel on the rail.
Yeah, look, you're
Double
sort of.
track.
I would say that you're following the general shape, because the general shape is very loose. And I was sort of. You asked where Fergan went, for example. I was like, oh shit, I hadn't actually prescribed the place, but now I have, right? So that is now a place. It now has implications. Will have to be followed up on.
This is west somewhere.
Yeah, so just for clarity, the map that you were given was like west, northwest. So sort of the big road that goes out west to Cripple Village. The location is north of that road. The destination that's the river ruins that was mentioned is just south of the main road. Oh, would you even know that? You may not know that.
Now we do.
It'll be on my map.
Well, actually, okay. So maybe realistically, you know, like Joseph told you was that there was a river ruins map. Like any map around here will have a big river on it. It will be somewhere along that river. The river runs south of the road.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, look. So definitely some extra bits and bobs.
So when you say
Not quite
finished
where I
early,
was-
do you mean like now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, just a little early.
Can I, for next session, can I say that when we went to bed, I tried to figure out a bit more of what this alchemist vase pot thing does before I go to
So you,
bed.
you experiment with it.
But
2 liters of mayonnaise.
yeah,
No, a gallon is fucking 4 liters. That's a lot of goddamn mayonnaise.
Gone big, man. It's like an absurdly large amount of liquid.
Like, why is mayo in the alchemy jug?
I fucking know. Why is... Well, it makes oil. It makes... Oh, I mean, I suppose it doesn't make...
Yeah, so
2 counts of mayonnaise.
you hear. Well, we're gonna continue because Cameron asked you a question. You hear like Sarabay and Olsen. You hear like weird wet sounds coming from Algy's room all night.
Ooh.
It's getting sloshy up in here.
Why is Algie so sexual today?
Algy, you.
Can
It
I
takes
can I
you-
bang on the wall a little bit? Just give a little knock knock. I'm trying to read my book. I'm like knock knock. I've forgotten Algae's in it, so I'm just like, this is unreasonable, you know? 2 hours, that's too much. Just stop. Give yourself
It
a
takes-
little rest.
Yeah.
With some 12 gallons of salt water.
Salt
Who knows?
water. Yeah, well, it is an option. Yeah, you do some experimentation, and that's it takes you a while, but you find out that the various stoppers all contain a different liquid.
Oh,
And yeah, I gave you the full description of the jug. You figured it out. That's what it does.
cool. That's awesome.
Cool shit.
It's very
Very
cool.
good. Very good. Next Thursday, everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Done
Let's
recap.
do it. Dylan.
Let's go back around this point.
It's so quick with the recaps.
Well, I'm gonna have to get a new mic, Dylan. You're super quiet.
Yeah, it's probably time. Oh, well, I'll just buy another one of the cable that the fucking Yeti uses, so I can just leave it plugged into my computer. Or I can...
Yeah, that's a good idea.
He's got it all braided into shit.
Yeah, that was a good idea.
Oh, and then I can do Saturday properly, and I can just like purr into the mic.
Yeah.
Oh, ASMR, Sarah Bear. All right.
I'm
Hey,
ready.
you said run a anime D&D like.
Things are gonna get really sloshy. Okay, very good. With that note, see you all next week.
Yeah.
See you next
See ya.
week. Oof.
Gotta recover Ed.
Very sexual session.
Yeah, why is it? She gives you a wink and a long look. He's hard and ready for you and offers something soft and wants my small package. I'm just like, what the fuck's going on?
I'm just a bit. Feeling a bit loosey goosey. Better stop the stream.